Good evening, everyone. I hope your preparations are going good. And today's topic for the drug of the day is atropine. Hope you have seen the last video on our channel Pharma Elite. If not, go check it out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's start with the drug atropine. So it belongs to the class of muscarinic antagonists, parasympathetics, or atropinic drugs. Atropine is a tropic acid ester of tropine and is marketed as atropine sulfate or as the sulfate salt. It is the natural alkaloid which is derived from Atropa belladonna belonging to the family Solanaceae. It is a racemic mixture of isocyanates. This point is important. Next point, which is the mechanism of action. Atropine blocks the action of acetylcholine on the autonomic effectors and in the central nervous system exerted through the muscarinic receptors, and it is a competitive antagonist. This line is very important. Structure of atropine. Now let's get started with the pharmacological actions. The first action involves this action on central nervous system. Atropine has a CNS stimulant effect as it depresses the vestibular excitation. It is used as an anti-motion sickness drug and it possesses an anti-motion sickness property and is used by the travelers. But scopolamine is the drug of choice for anti-motion sickness property over atropine. It reduces the cholinergic overactivity and thus suppresses the tremor and rigidity of Parkinsonism. High doses of atropine produces hallucination, disorientation, respiratory depression, and coma. Next point on cardiovascular system involves prominent effect of atropine is to cause tachycardia. So initially it produces bradycardia followed by tachycardia. So tachycardia occurs due to the blockade of the muscarinic 2 receptors. There are 5 muscarinic receptors which are present in different parts of the body. Among this, atropine blocks the muscarinic 2 receptors, which decreases the vagal tone. So atropine does not have any marked effect or any consistent effect on blood pressure. Atropine blocks the vasodepressor effects of cholinergic agonists. This means atropine blocks the effects of cholinergic agonists. So in case of cholinergic poisoning or in the case of cholinergic overactivity, atropine blocks this cholinergic overactivity and can be used as an antidote. Next point, anticholinergic drugs causes mydriasis and cyclopegia. So mydriatic action is very useful of anticholinergic agents for fundus examination, where maximum part of the retina can be visualized. Atropine is the longest acting mydriatic, important point. Tropicannamide is the shortest acting mydriatic agent, another important point. The intraocular tension tends to rise, especially in the narrow angle glaucoma, and therefore atropine must be avoided in patients with glaucoma. Important point. On smooth muscles, it causes bronchodilation and reduces the airway resistance, especially in COPD, which is a respiratory disorder, and asthma patients. So atropine is a drug of choice for, or can be a drug of choice for patients with asthma. Another effects includes dry mouth, decreased salivation, lacrimation, and sweating. On gastrointestinal tract, it produces a constipation effect as it decreases the motility of the intestine producing and it has anti-motility effects and may result in urinary retention and is therefore contraindicated in elderly patients with benign prostatic hypertrophy or BPH. SAR for muscarinic antagonists. So this is the main moiety which is present in all the muscarinic antagonists. First point, substituents R1 and R2. This is the substituents which I'm talking about. These must be heterocyclic or carbocyclic rings for maximum potency. The rings can be identical. Okay, if R1 has a furan ring and R2 has a furan ring, it produces a potent compound, but more potency is obtained when these rings are different, such as if R1 is thiophene ring and R2 is a furan ring. Next point, the R3 substituent can be a hydrogen atom, a hydroxylic group, or a carboxymide, or it can be a component of any one of the R1 and R2 rings. This point simply means R3 can be a hydrogen atom, it can have a OH group, a carboxamide group, or it can be simply, or it can contain any of the rings present in the R1 and R2 substitution. So presence of these group increases the potency of the compound. Third point, the X substituent, this substituent is in the most potent anticholinergic agents, and it should be an ester, but this ester group is not necessarily important for the muscarinic antagonist activity. So instead of this, so this X can be a ester, or it can also be a oxygen atom, but this oxygen atom is not necessarily necessarily important for the activity or for muscarinic antagonist activity. The fourth point is the N atom. Here it must be a quaternary ammonium salt, and the presence of these compound is, it increases the potency of the anticholinergic agents, and therefore it is very important. If there are any alkyl substitutions on this nitrogen atom, these are methyl, propyl, and isopropyl. Fifth point, the distance between the ring substituted carbon, this, and the amine nitrogen is not critical. So that means the distance between these two atoms is not important or not critical. Most potent anticholinergic agents have two methylene units in their chain. So the presence of two methylene units, that is CH2CH2, two methylene units is important in every anticholinergic agent. Moving ahead with the treatment, atropine is used in the treatment of bradycardia. As we have already seen, atropine produces tachycardia, and it can also be used as a pre-operative agent to reduce secretions before surgery. So secretions must be reduced, such as lacrimation or sweating, before the surgery. Second point, it is used in the management of Parkinsonism as it reduces tremors and rigidity. Third point, it is used in the ophthalmology for fundus examination by, it acts by paralyzing the ciliary muscles, and is used in the treatment of iritis and uveitis as a cycloplegic and mydriatic agent. Atropine is used as an antidote in poisoning by organophosphates such as serine and sabine, and several nerve agents and insecticides by decreasing the cholinergic overactivity. Nextly, adverse effects, which includes dry mouth, difficulty in swallowing and talking, as it decreases the secretions, and it has an effect on the smooth muscles. Atropine also produces dry, flushed, and hot skin, difficulty in micturition, and produces constipation by decreasing the intestinal motility or producing the antimotility effect. Dilated pupil, photophobia, and blurring of vision, palpitations due to tachycardia, blurring of vision due to cycloplegia, and dilated pupil as it is a mydriatic agent. Photophobia is sensitivity towards light. Excitement, psychotic behavior, ataxia, and delirium due to CNS stimulation. Hypotension, weak and rapid pulse, cardiovascular collapse, and respiratory depression. Nextly, the contraindications. Atropine is absolutely contraindicated in individuals with narrow angle glaucoma. It, however, produces a marked rise in intraocular tension, and this process of increasing the intraocular tension is rare in patients with wide angle glaucoma. It is contraindicated in elderly patients, as I've already discussed, who have prostatic hypertrophy, as it causes urinary retention. So here is a note which says atropine is well absorbed orally. Passage through the blood-brain barrier is restricted. About 50% of it is metabolized by the liver. This is the pharmacokinetics. Major metabolite, very important, is the norotropin, atropine, and oxide. Next point, drug-drug interactions. Antacids interfere with the absorption of anticholinergic agents. So antacids and anticholinergic agents must not be given together. These are the list of drugs: antihistamines, tricyclic antidepressants, phenothiazine, diisopyramide, tetidine have anticholinergic property. Therefore, additive effects are seen when these are given with atropinic drugs, parasympatholytics, or antimuscarinic agents. MAO inhibitors interfere with the metabolism of anticholinergic Parkinson drugs, and therefore delirium can occur. So MAO inhibitors are or should not be prescribed with the anticholinergic anti-Parkinson drugs. Absorption of most of the drugs is slowed because of the atropine, as it causes delayed gastric emptying. This results in slower absorption and greater peripheral degradation of levodopa. So, when atropine and levodopa are administered together, it produces a slower absorption of levodopa and greater peripheral degradation, and hence reducing its half-life. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for your attention.